what's good, y'all? It's Stinger, consumer of gushers. And today I'm cooking up a beat in the style of Don Toliver's song Bandit, or kind of along the same vein of that signature hard rock style. So let's just get right into it. Now, coming into this, I already have our sample, because the hardest part of making these kind of beats is finding the sample and finding the BPM of the sample as well. So with that being said, the sample that I'm using for this beat is going to be Leathers by DEFTONES. And I found a little portion of this song that I think would sound so sick in a hard rock style beat. Like, that's just so sampleable. Now, what I did from there is I chopped out that portion, put the pitch up by 300 cents because it's kind of essential to have a high-pitched vocal sample for these kind of beats. And then I brought the BPM down from 158, which was the original tempo of the sample, down to 130. As well as that, I threw on some effects like an EQ to take out the low ends, a reverb, and a delay to widen it. And then I routed it to my melody bus. If you want to know how I mix my melodies, you can check out the video in the top left or right. Still don't know which one's which. And in that video, I go in great detail on how I mix my melodies. So with that being said, this is the sample that we have to work with so far. Alright, so this is definitely something that I can work with. First, we're gonna grab our drum sounds. And for this, I wanna do a mixture of electronic drum sounds as well as acoustic drum sounds. So for the electronic drums, I'm just gonna grab a basic CTM 808, a basic hi-hat, and a basic open hat. As for the acoustic drum sounds, I'm gonna go into my Surge drum suite, and I'm gonna pick out some acoustic sounds that I think will sound good with this beat. Alright, so here we've got our drum sounds ready to go. Let's get started. First thing I'm gonna lay down is the 808, and the hardest part of this is going to be finding the bass line. And I have a feeling that that's gonna take me a long time, so we're gonna fast forward to when I actually get it. I'm thinking we're gonna go with a pattern something like this. Alright, so I think I'm going to leave the 808s at that. I think that's a pretty good basis to go off of. Alright, so now that we've laid down the 808 and the snares, I'm going to lay down some hi-hats. And I'm thinking I want to keep this relatively simple because we already have a lot going on. And then I'm thinking our main snare is lacking a little bit, so I'm gonna layer it with this trap snare. Alright, now I'm just gonna do a bit of basic mixing to make the drum sound a little bit better. And that's gonna include some leveling, adjusting some EQs, and some panning as well. Alright, so now that we've got our melody and our drums, let's work on some arrangement. I'm thinking what I wanna do for the intro is I wanna have our sample play for a little bit, and then I'm also gonna throw down some reverb and maybe an EQ to make it sound really, really thin. That way, once the drop comes, it sounds super big and present. So I'm just gonna apply these effects to the master bus. I'm gonna use FabFilter Pro R and scroll through the presets, see what I like, as well as FabFilter Pro Q, and I'm just gonna do some basic cuts with this. Alright, so now that we've got our reverb and our EQ, we're gonna automate them so that the mix is 100% in the intro and goes down to 0 when the chorus comes. And then I want there to be a gradual fade as well. So I'm gonna draw a slope going downward and then increase the curve. And I'll do the same for the EQ as well. So now let's give our intro a listen. Dirty. And then I think to make this intro even more impactful, I'm gonna throw down a riser, that way it builds up suspense into the chorus. I'm thinking I want a little tail end on the riser, make it a bit of a whoosh. There you go. Alright, so now that we've got the intro and the chorus, let's go into the verse. And I already have something in mind that I want to do for the verse. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy our sample over, hit this little waveform icon, and go to extract stems from sample. I'm thinking during the verse, I don't really want the vocals to be in the sample, so hopefully we can get something that sounds pretty good with this. Alright, so we got our stems. Now I'm just going to take out the vocals, remove the original, and then I'm going to route all of these to the original mixer bus and hope it sounds good. Alright, so let's see what it sounds like going from the chorus to the verse. So yeah, now what I'm going to do is just do some basic arrangement, mixing, mastering, but we have all the components to our beat right here. So with that being said, I thoroughly hope you enjoyed today's cook-up and learned something new. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the comments down below and I will do my best to answer them. Also consider checking out my Patreon where I post the FLPs to all of my beats in all of my videos, as well as that you get access to one of my sound kits per month. And finally, consider subscribing as I post one tutorial a week and anywhere from 1 to 2 sound kits a month. Other than that, it's going to be it. Peace.